We all start somewhere. We start with the day. We start with him. We start with family. We start with a lesson. And the perfect wave. We start here and here. We start at your office and your home. We start with the connections that matter the most. The ones that move us, change us, inspire us. In an ever-expanding world, personal connections are what tie everything together, what ties us together. We all start somewhere. At GTA, we start with you.
Buenas and half a day, everyone. It's me, Damon Michael, alongside my very familiar face co-host, Winston.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Winston, also known as Wantoon, and welcome to today's stream.
Awesome, guys. If you guys don't know, we are here streaming the next iteration of this week's League of Legends UOG scrims. And you know what? This stream would not be possible, Winston, without who?
Yes, so we'd like to thank our sponsors for the stream. GTA, we start with you. Pacific Federal Management, Global Recycling Center, Triton Esports, Pacific Data Systems, MacTech Guam, Twitch TV, Triton Esports, UOG Endowment Foundation, University of Guam Triton Store, Heavy Hitters, and Micronesian Brokers Incorporated.
Yes, thank you very much, Winston. So for today's stream, we do have the UOG T2, or the competitive roster, going up against one of their current opponents for the upcoming tournament, starting this week, Saturday at 2 p.m., what you can guys watch here live on their live streams at YouTube for UOG Triton Esports. So they'll be going up against the team called Drex's Uncles, very familiar faces to the local scene, if I do say so myself.
Yes, of course. So we're looking to have a very good game today. On the side of Drex's Uncles, we have two former League of Legends coach for the UOG Triton Esports program. We have our most recent coach, John Dunna, also known as Dunna. And we have a former coach, Quan plays. And they also have Drex, a former Guam resident who is now residing in the States. They also have Ponkins, another former resident, and I believe he was the highest ranked player on Guam when he was here.
Correct, he was one of the highest ranked players in the on the island, of course. And then there's also a last minute substitution for their mid lane. They have picked up a new person. I don't remember the IGN off the top of my head, but
Ice Chi, I believe.
think it's Ice Chi.
Ice Chi, yeah.
Ice Chi, yeah. So they do have a new mid laner playing for them called Ice Chi, and I'm pretty excited to see how this roster performs. The last time we saw them scrim against Drex's Uncles, we did see that UOG did take a game off of them, and but Drex's Uncles did end up winning 2-1.
Right.
And I'm really excited to see what will be coming out of this this tournament for sure. So let's get into the draft. All right, so we do happen to see that we do see Drex's Uncle's team has taken on blue side, while the UOG T2 or UOG Flakers has picked the red side for this game. Pretty exciting match. I know UOG does like to pick red side a lot because they like the counter picks for sure. Counter pick is very important in the game.
Correct, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure all of us love to know what our enemy laner is playing against, because it's just important that we get the good matchups so that we feel comfortable in the games that we play for sure. We do see that we're still waiting on a couple of bans here, but I'm very excited. The new patch did just drop, and I believe Skarner
rework.
Yep, right. The Skarner rework just came out. I played a couple of games on PvE with it. Not a big fan of it. I felt like it was a little clunky, a little weird.
Right.
But, there's the first ban on Drex's Uncle's team. We do see that it is Darius
ban. So Darius ban, obviously, towards the UOG top laner, plays a lot of Darius. Darius was a very oppressive laner, so they kind of just want to get that gone taken over with.
Correct, and I do believe that the UOG top laner currently, like you said, plays a lot of Darius. He is like a Darius one trick in Korea. Which is very interesting. If you didn't know, guys, the UOG top laner was a Masters ranked player back in Korea. So
Correct.
he's pretty important. He's pretty good, especially at Darius at least. We do see that UOG banned Vi. Vi is a very strong pick currently. Like, is able to basically single out those carries and just keep them CC locked. And then from there, we also do see that Nautilus was banned on Drex's Uncles, which is a very important pick for Aiden. It's one of the tanks that he's comfortable on. And then, UOG bans Belveth. This is Quan plays the jungler for Drex's Uncles. Number one, I would say pocket pick. He's
Right.
like, when he gets to play Belveth and it's a Belveth angle, it's scary.
Right.
Okay, we see Drex's Uncles banning out the Yone from Jakey. Jakey is known to play a lot of these AD fighters, assassins like Yasuo and Yone. They just don't want to deal with it. We do see Lucian banned for Drex's Uncle. Mainly banning Lucian, it's kind of a coin flippy. Like this champion, when you ban Lucian, it's because you know the enemy team has a very good Lucian player.
Right.
Not because he's broken or anything, or he's like very strong. It's just that the champion in the right hands, it's very scary.
Correct. Yes.
And now we get into the first picks of the side. And we do see Drex's Uncle prioritizing the Ahri for the mid lane. Ahri is a very strong mage, really strong in the current meta because it just allows her to do everything that she wants. Right now we see UOG T2, are looking to prioritize the Varus and Lissandra. Varus, one of my favorite ADCs. I know you play a lot of Varus. What do you feel about the Varus pick?
Right. So I think the Varus pick here, along with Sandra, it could be pretty good. Very good, both in team fight setting. Both of them have very good CC with Varus chain and also Lissandra W and Lissandra ult. Just really looking to lock down somebody. In terms of the Varus pick, I think it's very good for them. Trying to force Dunna to kind of go on another AC, because I know Varus and Lucian are one of his most recently played ADCs.
I do agree with you. I wouldn't say it's just Dunna. I feel like Varus is just an ADC that everyone should know how to play. He is very versatile with his poke build, his on-hit build, his used to be AP build, and his used to be tank build. But we do see that Drex's Uncles have opened up with the Xayah Rakan, super strong bot lane. Very oppressive. It just has so much all-in potential and also so much like peeling potential between the two. It's like that bot lane gets to live on their own just with those two, because they do basically everything that they need together. Now, what will UOG open with? From here, I do believe that they're going to pick the support. And they're going to go with the Lux and Varus. Lux Varus, this means more than likely the potential of Poke Varus is going to be coming out. Probably my favorite variant of Varus is Poke. I just like how much damage he does up front. And being able to stay like a million miles away and just hit him with that long range arrow, it's just crazy. And Aiden, from what I know, is a very strong Lux player. He loves playing Lux. I think this is one of his very first supports that he picked up, and he thought it was very comfortable on. Usually you pair that with like Lux Caitlyn, but I guess they're going to go with the Varus today. And now we are getting into the second rounds of bans, and we do see Diana was banned before Quan plays. It looks like we're really targeting the jungle pool. They're very scared of what the jungler of Drex's Uncles can pull out and what he can provide for his team.
Correct. And it looks like Drex's Uncles is going for the Aatrox ban. Another one of the comfort picks of the UOG top laner. And it looks like UOG is going to ban Jarvan for their last ban.
Again, it's the same thing with like the Diana, the Belveth, and the Vi ban. These are specifically targeting the main playmaker of this team. Quan Plays does happen to facilitate every play that is made. He is like one of the biggest shot callers of that team to make sure that plays happen and are the right plays. Now, I wouldn't say perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect play, correct? Right? It's like this is the play that's going to happen. And we do see that Ilawi was then banned for Drex's Uncles under the comfort pick on the top lane. But then Maui. The UOG jungler picks Lee Sin versus Quan and Dunna's team. If you guys don't know, Quan and Dunn are big Lee
Lee
Sin
Sin
players.
players,
They
correct.
love that. They love it. They're really good at Lee Sin. Lee Sin is just a strong, like, if you have the mechanics for this character, you can take over games for sure. And there is a somewhat of a semi-counter pick in a way, Talia for the Quan on the jungle. If you guys don't know, Talia kind of counters Lee Sin in a way that when she pulls out her rocks, her graveled ground, I think it's called. I forgot what the name of the rocks was.
Right.
It stops all sorts of dashes, and it stuns the champion that goes through or dashes through
Dashes
those
through them.
rocks. So it kind of does counter Lee Sin in its own variation. Now we do see now that Drex is pulling out the Zac top. Interesting pick, but this is a great lane neutralizer. What he's trying to do is just make sure that their top laner cannot take over the game.
Right.
So they're putting him on a safe pick. He has good wave clear. He's pretty tanky. He can get out of sticky situations. So it's a great lane neutralizer, which I believe this is what the team is trying to go with. Overall, not a bad pick. And now we do see. So it looks like there was a little miscalculation in the picking of the last champion, but from what I'm hearing, it does look like it's going to be Ornn locked in for the top lane.
Right.
Ornn, a very strong comfort champion for Ethan, or the top laner, Cursed One. Actually, the last time that they challenged Drex's uncles, their win did come off of him playing Ornn.
Right.
So I'm very surprised that Drex's uncles did not want to ban that Ornn, but I guess they want him to play that kind of thing. They feel like maybe him playing on tanks, he can't really take over the game. He has to play around the team. And I guess what Drex's uncles' team is saying is that let's fight the team fights. We are going to out-team fight you guys. They do have the more veteran player, quote-unquote veteran players on that side of the team, while the UOG team, some of them are fairly new to the game. Some of them are veterans. They've been playing for years.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very interesting comps. I do see what both want to do. But your opinion, which team do you prefer to play at the moment?
So, based on the drafts alone, just out of familiarity, I think I'd rather be on the side of UOG, just because I'm really more accustomed to like playing with the champions they have selected. So I play a lot of Varus. Same thing with Lissandra. I also play with a lot of Lux, and also I don't really play much with Lee Sin or Ornn, but I do feel like I would be comfortable playing with them, kind of just setting up and like following on what their utilities are, as compared to the side of Drex's uncles. I'm not really used to playing with a lot of Talias or Zacs for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just my personal preference, just based on familiarity of like how to navigate the team.
Definitely. For me personally, I would also go with the more UOG team. For me, when I like to play ADC, I like to play these ADCs that are very far away. They give me that can make space, especially Varus. Varus is one of my number one picks for ADC at the moment. I love playing Varus. So it's like the team comp that UOG has set up is a very long-range siege, poke-heavy, go in when the time is right. So it's like they're going to sit back and away from objectives. They're just going to slam arrows. They're going to slam the Lux bindings and the Lux singularities. They're really going to try to just poke them out before any team fight starts, so that they have the resource objective or resource advantage in health and mana, and just basically forcing them out of team fights.
Right.
Drex's uncle's team, though, have a very strong all-in pick potential as well.
Correct. Yeah.
You know, like Zac flying over walls from Timbuktu, hitting in the back line.
Yeah.
Talia being able to wall people
people
off
off,
from
yeah.
far. And we also have Ari, who has basically 3 dashes to get them into the team fight. And also Rakan. The way that people, if you guys don't know, Zaya Rakan's interaction, Rakan has this dash where he can dash to teammates, but that dash range is actually doubled when playing with Zaya. So they do have this very strong long-range all-in that will allow them to take control of fights if they find the right angles for sure. So in your opinion, Winston, how does UOG need to play this out?
So, in my personal opinion, you are correct in saying that they kind of just want to poke them out. Obviously, if they do go all in, they have very strong CC with the Lysandra W, the Lysandra R. Also with the Varus R and also Orange CC, they could probably capitalize on somebody trying to go in. That could be one way they can navigate team fights. They could also maybe look for a CC on somebody who's caught out of position. They have very good, again, they have very good CC with the Varus R, able to long range and catch somebody out. Same thing with the Ornar, could be also very good engage onto their team. And yeah, same with the Luxbine. They just have a lot of CC. They can capitalize on somebody being caught out of position or just disrespecting them, and they could capitalize on that. And on this side of Drex's uncles, they have very good all-in, like you said, with the Zac engage, it's Lear R, with the RAR and the Rakan W and Rakan R. Both teams looking like they have very good team fight potential. They have very good team fight ults and lots of hard CC on both sides of the team.
Yep.
And just really interested to seeing how they would play this out.
Definitely. I'm very interested. I think both sides came into this game one hard hitting, being able to being ready to present what their team's strengths are. I do have played against UOG's team very often, and they do like this long range poke and long range siege kind of play style. And I know Dunna's team, they're just very coordinated with their team fights. I know that they can prepare this, but as we do have a spectator delay, we have to wait 3 minutes before the game starts. We are going to go ahead and take a quick 3-minute break, go into some ads, some of our sponsors, and then we'll come back to you guys when the game is ready to go.
And we are back. Welcome back to stream, everybody. Once again, before we start, spectator delay is almost over. I would like to thank our sponsors one more time. We would like to thank GTA, Pacific Federal Management, Global Recycling Center, Triton Esports, Pacific Data Systems, MacTech Guam, Twitch, Lottie Esports, UOG Endowment Foundation, University of Guam Triton Store, Heavy Hitters, and Micronesian Brokers Incorporated. And for those who just tuned into the stream, welcome. This is another mock stream for our League of Legends tournament happening starting this Saturday at 2 p.m. We have Drex's uncles and UOG T2 looking to have a very good and exciting stream today.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very excited for this. And, I just want to give a little quick shout out to the team name of Drex's uncles. I've been playing with these guys since I was way before COVID even hit. That's
right.
2019. And it's just so funny to think that their name is Drex's uncles, because me and Drex are the young ones. We're the boys of the group.
Right.
And it's just so funny to think Drex, quote unquote, the nephew of all of the people playing, versus with his team is all the all the uncles, the guys that taught us how to play this game, the dudes that we grew up with, basically, especially with the League of Legends team. And so I'm very excited to see what's going on and how like this old school roster will perform in the tournament that's coming up this Saturday. So as we get into the game, I'm hoping that we see some level 1 invades, try to get some information. I know that at least for the side of the UOG, they have a lot of good like level 1s. They have that Varus, the Varus and Lux queue that will be able to just help them get that level 1 advantage. And we do see that UOG is already rotating 5-man bot lane. What they're trying to do is they want to make sure that there's no cheese happening in the bot lane, like the Xayah Rakan isn't just going to walk up into the lane and cheese the level 1 brushes. So we do see the recall. They do scout it out. This is a little early. They kind of left this that bush a little early. They did get a ward at least, so they do know if Xayah Rakan does want to cheese the brush. But of course, side of Drex's uncles, we do see that they have the standard 5-man
5-point start.
Well, 5-point start.
Yeah.
It does look like they are sending down the Varus Lux to try to get that level 1 cheese going on. Lee Sin looks to be starting
Wolves, and we see Talia looking to start her top side as well. Both are starting on opposite sides of the map. Interesting to see where they will path this game.
Definitely very interesting to see. We do see that Talia is already prepping that worked ground on the blue buff. Basically, this worked ground allows him to send out one giant boulder that can just do a massive amount of damage to the blue buff, and also gets the stun off. So he is soloing the blue buff. We do see Maui, the jungle Lee Sin. He is starting Wolves. This is a very good clear, Gromp clear. So what they like to do is they do like Wolves into Raptors, into Krugs.
Right.
And then they go back down, they base and they come back around and they can do Gromp, blue buff, red buff. And then they'll be at the Gromp spawn timer at 5 minutes basically. We do see that UOG did prep a level 1 cheese. They did get a little damage onto Xayah there. We do see Lissandra's kind of getting pushed out of lane by this Ahri here. Maybe he's kind of respecting the level 2, doesn't want to try to get all in. Lissandra's early game compared to Ahri, of course, Ahri has a little bit more damage than Lissandra, but they kind of do the same thing where their abilities can wave clear very easily.
Right.
There seems to be some sort of lag and some sort of delay in the game, but that's totally fine, guys. We do apologize if there is any technical difficulties in this game. We may need to restart the stream. Yeah, so it looks like there is going to be a technical difficulty, guys. Sorry, I do apologize about that, but it seems like we're going to have to leave the game, and then we'll come back at the same time when the game starts. For now, the teams are playing kind of standard. They are going through the normal procedures of how level 1 is handshaked. You know, nobody went in for invades. Nobody went in for like the cheese, trying to get a small kind of advantage. But so far, clean League of Legends.
Right.
So, you know, when we talk about this, who do you think is going to take this game, Winston?
So, looking at both teams, on the side of Drex's uncles, they look like they're trying to maybe just scale a little more. UOG definitely does have a more early game presence with the Lee Sin and also with just the Lux. Yeah, on the side of UOG, they're looking to maybe win early. And on the side of Drex's uncles, maybe just try to shut down early carries and make sure they don't get their early game advantages. And yeah, and both teams, especially in team fights, we're looking to see very kind of just chaotic team fights with all of the CC and all of the utility that both teams have. Let's see if stream back up.
It looks like the stream is back up, and off the stream camera that we guys didn't get to see, we did see that Guam Plays did go into the gank into the mid lane and was able to blow Jakey's flash. So now Jakey has to kind of play a little safe. He doesn't have that safety option for 5 minutes of flash to be get out of any sticky situation. But we do see Maui and Quan Plays kind of meeting each other here at the bot lane. Maui does kind of skill check him, hit him with that Q, letting him know that, hey, I hit my abilities. Try me one time, you know? But right now, spawn. Looks like Maui is going to be taking a reset. Bot lane is a little stable. Looks like Curse One is a little taking a little bit of the early game advantage. Ornn is really good into these tank matchups because he does do like max health using that Bellows Breath right there. Hitting that W. Boom. Clean trade by Ornn, by the Cursed One, being able to get that early poke damage onto Drex. And now Drex kind of has to play a little safe, you know. He does have the the Zac passive that kind of revives him, brings him back to life for a little bit.
Right.
But you still don't want to get that that kind of damage taken early in the game. We do see Maui fighting Quan here, takes the Q. Is going to be taking, he's going to be chunking out Quan here. Might be able to kill Quan. Oh, flash down by Quan. Maui hits the Q. Will he take it? First blood by UOG. Well played by Maui, knowing that if Quan doesn't hit his abilities and hit his spells, he has the advantage.
Yes. So very well played by Maui there. He identified that top lane did have prio, so he did go for that all in towards the Talia. As I mentioned earlier, Lee Sin has a very strong early game, especially in duels against Talia, who kind of has long cooldowns early, and who also kind of just has to depend on hitting her abilities, which Maui dodged perfectly. And yeah.
Definitely, and that first blood led UOG to be able to take the Grubs, all 3 Grubs. Grubs are very strong in this current season. It's a new introduced interaction, a new monster. Basically, if you're able to get all this, we do see there's a little bot lane action here. Willow did have to pop the ghost because Pumpkins went in with the W knockup, but was able to miss. He was able to get out clean. But yeah, back to what we were saying, the Grubs, they allow you to take turrets really quickly, especially if you're able to get that 5 to 6 Grubs and get those extra little minions to help push turrets.
Right.
Very, very clean play by UOG. Fun fact, as Winston did mention earlier, Quan and Dunna were previous coaches.
Right.
And they are jungler mains who scouted Maui. Maui was like the prodigy of Quan and Dunna, and funny enough, he got the first blood on his old coach, on a champion that they taught him how to play.
Right.
And so it's just very funny to think that Quan kind of, you know, made him a little mishap. He probably didn't respect Maui a little bit there, thinking that, he won't take it, but hey, yeah, it happens.
Kind of reminds me of those memes I've been seeing on social media where it's Shifu and Tai Lung from Kung Fu Panda.
Real quick, looks like Quanblaze is ganking bot lane, and they do burn the flash onto Itchy. They get out with the Ignite and everything, but it looks like everyone is safe in the bot lane. Only blowing the Ignite off of Rakan and the flash onto Lux.
Right.
Well played. Good gank by Quan. Quan is a very good, calculated player. He knows where, the plays that he can make. So he did see the opportunity to come down to bot lane and maybe burn a summoner. We do see Maui does take the Q in, takes a little damage, but trades a little health with Pawnkins here, and they're really the work ground onto the Lux. Lux gets hit, but Willow trades with the Rakan, but Talia does get a kill onto Lux, and it looks like they're going to continue to play Maui onto this. Dunna gets Maui does get the Q onto Dunna, but then Iced Chi comes in with the R to clean up Willow. Good 2 trades right there. We did see both Quan and Dunna dying into that level, that all-in, but the side of Drex's uncles were able to capitalize and get a return kill of 2. Well played. Now, as we do get back into the game, we're about 8 minutes in. Let's take a look at the items, man. We do see again, Lee Sin 2 kills up right now. That is very good for what Lee Sin wants. You know, he's being able to take over the game with this. His early game is being able to spike a lot more. We do see Varus did get a kill, so he does start off with that lethality item, the Serrated Dirt, one of the most broken items in the game. Looks like Drex started trying to jump in on the Cursed One, trying to get some trading of health, but it doesn't look very good for Drex at the moment. Cursed One able to get a very good trade with his Bellows Breath, stopping all the forms of CC. Well played. We do see UOG is now hovering the Dragon. They do have the bot lane prio, and I'm pretty sure they also have the better rotations going on. And they're just here to get the free objective. Right. Very well played by UOG. They know their strengths. Their strengths are in the bot side right now. crazy enough, if we take a look at the gold, we're only 200 gold off difference right now. It does look like the gold is in mainly from all that shutdown gold that Quan and Ice Chi were able to get during that bot lane play. Now it looks like things are kind of slowing down, but what are your thoughts on the game state right now, Winston?
So, on the game state right now, Maui has been able to get good ganks off and good fights, as we saw earlier with the first blood on jungle onto Quan, and kind of like that bot skirmish there. Even though they lost 2, they're still able to take down both, I believe it was Quan and Dunna. And yeah, just really good engagements by Maui, and just really good just timing and the target priority.
Definitely. We do see Maui is hovering here mid lane, trying to help Jakey get a good back so that he can reset. We do see Maui, Ice Chi might get caught by Maui here. Maui takes the Q, does hit him, but then Ari dashes away. There's that safety that we were talking about earlier on. Oh, but we do see Lee Sin did flash, hits the Q, and gets the kill onto Ice Chi. But then the play does continue. Maui does find Quan plays. Quan gets the kill onto Quan plays. But Drex Star does get the return kill onto Jakey. So a 2-for-1 trade in favor of UOG.
Right. So Maui looking very good this game, playing completely like a beast. Able to follow up on that Ari, who got away with ult, and able to turn around and go on the kill onto the Ornn called the Forge God, and just go ahead and finish off the Tilia.
Definitely, Maui is playing a lot better this game. Usually he's a little bit more reserved, a little like takes a little less, but we do see that the all-in's going into Bonkins. Bonkins gets hit by the Singularity by Lux, and gets finished off with the Chains of Corruption by Willow with an arrow straight to the heart.
And this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. With their team, they're looking to just kind of catch somebody out, which is exactly what Ichi was able to do, catching Rakan out with the Light Binding, and with the Varus able to just follow up with the Chain of Corruption just for a nice and easy kill.
Definitely well played by the UOG bot lane. They have been trying to build this synergy, trying to figure out the pieces of the puzzle that allow them to play this kind of game style. And here and right now, we are seeing the results of all that training and all of that practice that they've been putting over the last few months as a team. And right now, they are looking a lot like a completely different UOG from when I first saw them.
Right.
Definitely. When we do see the Curse One and Drex are still kind of trading HP. These guys are tanks, so it is a wet noodle fight. Nobody's really going to kill each other unless one takes a fight a little too serious. As we do see, Quan plays here looking into the jungle. They did spot Maui on that ward, so they are tracking him currently on what side of the map that Lisa is on, excuse me. We do see Guam going ahead and just going to go take the Scuttle Crab. It is a little free. Jakey is trying to push out the lane, make sure that he has the advantage to be able to rotate to any side lane if need be. Right now, everyone's kind of gathering on the bot side. Let's take a look at the current vision that we see on the minimap. And it looks like there seems to be a lot of wards on the bot side. I think Drex's uncles, or the blue side, really is trying to prioritize to make sure they spot where Maui is, and so that they are able to track every movement. Currently, we do look at the items, and Maui does have Eclipse off the back, but Quan a little bit kind of caught up. He does have the Ludens, so they are currently matched one item to one item. Oh, but the all in into Willow was caught on a ward trying to get the last hit on the minion of the cannon, but Ponkins and Quan plays able to catch him on his greed.
Very, very cheeky play by Quan there, just hiding in a cubby at the middle bush, and just waiting for an opportunity for Willow to go in for the last hit, and they just all in them with the Rakan W, and able to finish him off and secure that one for the gold shutdown.
Definitely, but it looks like Yoji's kind of answered. Jakey goes in, flashes ults, and they are able to get the first kill onto Ponkins. They are able to trade, but then Ice-T does come in with a TP, and then they're trying to continue, but Maui a little too far in, and that was a 2v4 there because of that TP, but it does look like Ichi is able to catch Dunna a little bit there. They might be able to snipe him here. Will they be able to continue? He's holding the Q, then they're really trying, but it looks like Dunna has to just take the L here, and he does get the trade kill. So overall, not bad. That was I think a
Right.
a 2 for 2.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
So obviously UOG trying to go in on the flash W by Jakey and also the Lysandra Ice Tomb onto the Rakan. Maui a little bit too ambitious there, kind of going into the 1v3 and losing that 400 gold shutdown, going to the Ari. Yeah.
Definitely, it was a little ambitious of UOG to play that. I mean, I get it, though. They did blow a lot of resources from Drex's uncles trying to get that kill onto Willow, which they were able to get. But the fact of the matter is it was still a 3v4.
Yeah.
But UOG was able to kind of take those results and still get something out of it. They did get at least 3 trade kills, so it was a 3 for 3. It's just the shutdown gold made it a little bit more in favor of UOG. And of course, we see the top lane that it's just a wet noodle fight. But everyone is currently rotating for the grubs. And as we said before earlier, or I'm sorry, not the grubs, for the Rift Herald, UOG is actually on a really good pace at getting these objectives. You know, like they were able to get the first Drake, they were able to get 3 grubs, or I'm sorry, 4 of the grubs. And so this is really well played by UOG. Their map rotations are very are well put together, and they're looking like a clean team. Right now, we do see that the Drex's uncles may be looking here at bot lane, but Jakey and Ice Chi taking a quick trade. But it looks like they might be looking here at bot lane. Pawnkins does goes in. Quan Plays is in the back, and they're able to just burn the ulti. But Willow didn't have to do anything. They did TP. I believe the Cursed One did try to TP down. Looks like they're going to go ahead and follow the curse. The Corrupted Arrows is onto Dunna there. Then they're just clean dive. Well played by the side of Drex's uncles. Able to get a clean dive onto Willow. Aiden was just not there to be able to help his ADC catch that 1v3.
Right. Very unfortunate for Willow. Juan was in the bot jungle, red side, and really nothing much he could have done there without a support. All he could do was try to burn a flash, but they were able to just do a very clean dive on him, and Dunna using the Xayah R to just get rid of tower aggro. And yeah.
Definitely. They did burn a lot of resources trying to get that, but they had to make a play somewhere. You know, they knew Maui was top lane. He just got the Herald. They did spot Aiden on wards, so they knew that it was just Willow by himself under turret. So they were able to make a play and at least get that kill and the flash off of Varus. And luckily, no kill was traded, so it was a very clean dive.
Yeah.
We do see now things are kind of slowing down. If we take a look at the current gold right now, does look like Drex's uncles are up by 1.3k. That is probably because of all the shutdown gold that they've been getting. I mean, if you take a look at the CS count, you know, top lane has a 13 CS gap. Jungle is down by like 9. Mid lane is even. ADCs are down just a bit, so it is all of that, like a little bit of a farm gap, CS gap, plus all of those shutdown gold that they've been getting that is keeping Drex's uncles alive. We're going ahead. We're going to see that the wet noodle fight is still going on. Currently, if we take a look at all the summoner spells going on, we do see that like Drex's uncles has a lot of their current spells going on. Things look a little crazy going on. We do see Jakey and Ice Chi, they are just trading spells right now. 1v1, Ice Chi goes in, gets it, and gets the first kill onto Jakey. Solo killed. Solo bolo. Ice Chi being able to get that first kill onto them. And good rotate, but we do see Quan is taking the ulti, and there looks like they're going to trap it in, and Rakan ultimate onto Willow. Willow does still get down. And just clean rotations. It looks like UOG is just caught lacking. Oh, but we do see the all-in by Pawnkins does ulti. Drex does TP in, gets in, be able to just knock up UOG. And it looks like UOG is just caught with their pants down, rotating, and getting picked off one by one. Right.
So, kind of the same principle. Both teams just looking to kind of just catch somebody out. Obviously, both on the side of Drex's uncles, they have very strong all-in. As you saw earlier with the Tilia wall, kind of just cutting off Willow's path to kind of escape and getting sandwiched by the Rakan and Xayah. and Zach also in bot lane, ready to just collapse on the fight and collapsing on the Lee Sin, who was trying to run away. But Maui does escape from that, and yeah.
Overall, though, it looks like there's just a lot of vision not being denied by the side of UOG. There just happens to be wards everywhere in their jungle that is allowing Drex's uncles to be able to play like this because they have the map knowledge, the map information of what plays can be possible. And overall, they were able to get 3 kills onto UOG, and now they take a commanding 3,000 gold lead. It does look like teams are posturing for this bot lane. Looks like currently it is a 5v4. We do see that Drex does take the E and flies in, but they're able to half help them. And they're able to get a good chunk onto Drex, which is really bad for the side of Drex's uncles because that is their main tank. They are trying to get the mid prio. Both bot lanes currently are rotating there to be able to push out the lanes, because before you want to rotate to objectives, you want to make sure the lanes are pushed out.
Right.
We do see a lot of vision. Drex's uncles are currently out. They currently have the map lit, and they're able to see everything that is going on right now. Teams are still positioning for a proper theme. We talked about this early, but UOG needs to poke more, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and call the Forge Gods. They're going to hit 2, but Drex goes in and stops the backline, and right now they're just playing on war on 2 different fronts. It looks like Itchy does get Pawnkins though, and it looks like Ari's going in. Drex might be able to fall, but it's passive pop, so right now it's a 1v4, it's a 4v5. Maui does go in, kicks out Quan plays, gets the kick, and they're able to kill him. Shut down onto Drex by Willow. Double kill by Ice Chi though, and it's currently even plays, 4 for 3. Side of Drex's uncles taking the commanding lead and advantage on that team fight.
Right. So, as I said, very good team fight potential on both sides. We did see Chris one open up with the Call of the Forge God, kind of going in and hitting 3 people in the backline, forcing Pawnkins to kind of just dash into that Luxar and getting picked out. Jakey going for the Lissandra on himself to kind of just slow the team. Maui going on to finish Dunna, but unfortunately cannot finish him off. And Ari does take the other 2 people at the top side, and just really clean fight by side of Drex's uncles, losing 3 while UOG loses 4.
For sure, and it goes back to what the team comp needs to do. And the side of UOG, they do need to play this very poke-heavy comp. They have the Lux Qs, they have all the CC, they need to do damage beforehand before they can do all these all-ins with the Call of the Forge God. So realistically, they just needed to play it a little slower and try to get those arrows from Varus and Lux Qs and E's to just connect so that they do some damage, forcing them off the objective. And it looks like they're still kind of posturing for this team fight. Both Curse one does have TP advantage, and right now we do see Maui kind of going in, taking a trade, breaking that Celestial support item off of Pawnkins. It looks like the side of Drex's uncles are starting the Dragon right now. They're trying to take advantage of it, and it looks like UOG, they're just going to give it. They are not properly positioned, and they're not able to rotate to get to this second Dragon. Well played, free Dragon for the side of Drex.
And it looks like we are having a Mountain Soul this game. Very good for either team. Obviously, they have Zach and Oren who can benefit from it.
Definitely, Zach and Oren, the tanks that can benefit with that shield from the Mountain Drake. But we do see that the UOG team is prepping a dive onto Drex, to Drex's Zach here. Drex is going to go ahead and ulti onto them. Gets, perfect knockup by the Drex's uncle's Zach. And then they TP in. Boom. Ari gets a double kill onto the bot laners. TPs are going out, and they might be able to trade Drex for this. So they do get the 1-for-2 trade, but Quan is here to stop any more bleeding. Wow. Drex's uncle's bot lane is just pushing and getting turrets. Well played by Drex there.
Very, very well played. Drex able to just get all of them to be grouped up, seize the opportunity towards the tier 2 tower where all of where the Lux and the Varus were grouped up, and able to just jump on them and kind of just burst them out with the Zakar, and Ari taking the TP in and ulting in to just finish them off.
Definitely, the way Drex played there was very clean. They were able to go in, and he was able to knock up every single one of those these squishier targets, allowing and buying time for Ari to get that TP off, to get in and kill the bot lane of the side of UOG. We do see Ari is able to get this turret. So overall, well played by the side of UOG. I mean, sorry, Drex's uncles. They were just able to get a clean fight, and now the gold lead is just increasing. It's now a 4,000 gold lead, and it looks like teams may be posturing around the Baron. Let's go ahead and take a look at the items currently that we have in 24 minutes. We do see that one of the ADCs is on 2.5 items. Both ADCs are on 2.5 items. The mid laners are a little bit of a difference. I mean, we did see Ari's just kind of taking over every one of these team fights and able to get a lot of gold into his pocket. So he is very strong. At this point in time, Maui is kind of falling off a little bit. The early game is no longer as advantageous as what it used to be.
So, yeah. As you mentioned earlier, Maui was playing very well early game, but just that bot play where he gave that 400 gold bounty to the Ari, really just starting to show how oppressive and how detrimental it was to the state of the game.
Definitely. It looks like both teams are kind of posturing down here for this bot tower. Aiden does get caught by a charm from the Ari, and Ice G, again, making plays for the side of Drex's uncles, really showing how dominant his game is. And it does look like there is a slight pause into the system. We may need to restart the stream. I do apologize for this, guys. Technical difficulties, it happens all the time. Nobody's perfect, but it is what it is. How are you feeling about this game so far, Winston?
So, feeling about this game so far, definitely first 15 minutes, early game of the match, UOG was looking very, UOG was kind of dominating with Maui getting a lot of kills, and bot lane also just kind of just being oppressive as well. But towards that bot lane fight where we saw Maui get killed and 400 gold bounty goes to the Ari, and also getting the kill onto the Varus, we're seeing kind of just a game state turn in favor of Drex's uncles, and obviously also those team fights during Dragon and that team fight in top lane, also kind of just like allowing them to snowball more and increasing the gold lead, and yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. The UOG did have a strong early 15 minutes into this game. They were Maui was able to out-rotate, catch Quan on a lot of plays. He was also able to just find angles for the side of UOG to be able to get in there. And it's really exciting to see that. But it shows in the veterancy of Drex's DU's team on how long they've been playing the game.
Right.
They were able to catch these moments in the late game, that were the mid to late game, that allowed them to get this snowball and now push them into the zone that they wanted to play. The team fights, the scaling, it's all coming together. And now, what can UOG do to be able to get back into this game?
Right, so kind of to be able to get back in this game, I feel like during team fights, they kind of just need to focus on a target to lock down with their hard CC. That target could be probably the Ari could dash in, or the Zac. Just kind of try to burst somebody down, kind of try to make it easy for themselves to kind of lock down the rest of the team with their other utilities. And as of now, they're just kind of just looking to kind of just farm up and not try to lose any more, not try to slowly bleed out as much as possible. Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. They do need to stop the bleeding. Basically, the team of UOG, they need to stop. They gotta find play around the vision. Realistically, that is what DU's team is doing. They're playing around all this vision and map knowledge of understanding where their members are, and they're really pushing the limits of like, hey, you don't have wards here. We know you're there. We're gonna pick you off.
Right.
So it's looking like a very, very clean game from the side of DU. They're just showing what it's like when what it's like with the knowledge that they have in the information.
Right. And we're definitely seeing a lot of that on the side of DU, just taking advantage of the vision that they have over UOG with those plays in the bot side where they were able to wall off the Varus and pick him off. And also that bot lane dive where Lux wasn't there. really able to capitalize on that.
Definitely, and it looks like the game is back, so we do apologize for all the technical difficulties, guys. We are trying our best here to give you guys the provided stream as possible. And right now we are seeing that it's about, 27 minutes in. Drex's uncles are still at 2 dragons, and they're currently fighting for the vision and prepping to be able to take this 3rd Drake. UOG is a little far. They look like they do want to kind of contest, but they have to be scared of the vision. Nobody is clearing out the vision, but they do get a small, quick play onto Quan, and they were able to get a CC lock and use these ult by Lux there to chunk him to half health. But is that enough? Doesn't look like it, because it looks like the team of DU. UOG is walking in, and it looks like Quamplace does get the dragon. Drex's uncle's in the flank. He's able to get 2 in the back line. First one does die to Dunlin, and they're playing front to back. Zaya gets a double kill, but Shaky does get the kill onto Ponkins, and they're going to continue to chase. And it looks like Quamplace might be able to catch Maui here. Maui dashes out. 1 for 3 on the side in favor of the side of DU. Maui is able to get out, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and just push for these inhibs. Death timers are on 30 seconds, though.
Right. So during that fight, I believe UOG did not have vision on that brush near the dragon where Drex was hiding. Drex looking for an engage before the fight started, but decided not to go in and waited just for the perfect moment.
To do that, it looks like they're trying to siege right now, and Maui does get chunked into damage there. Well played by Drex, able to zone off Maui, and it looks like they're going to get this body in.
Right, so as I was saying, just Drex looking for the perfect moment to go in, waiting for the Orange to walk up and try to make a play with his utility, and able to just go in onto the back line and just burst them out with the Let's Balance by Zach. And team able to just clean up on the side of Drex's uncles, and they were able to secure the bot hand off of that.
Definitely, and it's just this vision play. Side of DU is just able to get vision. They're setting up plays a lot faster than the UOG did. And this is just a complete 180 from the early game, because UOG was always the first to these objectives.
Right.
They had the vision. They had the control over where they go in the map knowledge. But now, DU just has the tempo. Right now, they are looking around Baron. They're hovering. They do have some wards going out. They're trying to clear out in vision. Jakey is here, kind of taking a recall. He does have TP, so it's fine to go ahead and recall and maybe get an item or 2. But it is kind of slowing down. We do see that the side of UOG, their carries they're just falling off.
Falling off, right.
They're getting to the point where their poke doesn't matter as much as it used to be. And their damage is just not up to par to be able to kill like the likes of Zach, or one-shot the likes of Quan and Ice Chi. But I just want to say, for his debut game, Ice Chi is looking good. He looks strong.
Right. Ice Chi, do you know anything about him? Is he also a local player?
I personally don't know who this guy is. You know, I've been playing tournaments for years now. I've been playing in the local scene for years, and this name has never appeared in any of the games that I have played with. So, very interesting. We do see that bot lane. The Baron is going to go ahead and go to the side of Drex's uncles, and it looks like UOG just can't do anything about it. They weren't positioned correctly, and they just don't have the vision to be able to walk in and contest this Baron. And it looks like now, side of DU is just going to do standard play. They're just going to 5-man mid. We call this the NA Ram special.
Right.
We do see Drex is able to burn the flash, and we do see Ponkins gets caught, gets hit by the root from Lux, but they're going to go ahead and go in, all in. Drex does get 2. He claps 2 of them. Ponkins goes in, W burns the flash on Jakey, but Ice Chi going in. Drex going in, back in. Quan taking a wall, cuts off Willow. Well played, and they're able to just get the clean dive. A lot of these pick potentials off. Aiden gets finished, and it's an ace for Drex's uncles, and that is game.
Right. So very interesting game to see. We saw that UOG had a very strong early game, but they just took really conflicting fights and really gave shutdowns to the carries, and it was able to kind of snowball and just turn into this very impressive game. Ari becoming very impressive, and just like the utility and CC going from the Zach and the Talia, just able to capitalize on that and set up the plays.
Definitely a very strong showing, but from both sides.
Right, right,
Like
yeah.
realistically, I loved watching this game. We saw the UOG strengths of that early 15-minute game, but then we saw the strengths of DU with that veterancy being able to show, hey, mid to late game, we will out team fight you, and they did. They showed up and they were
Exactly.
able to pull through with this game, and that's gonna go ahead and conclude game one with Drex's uncles taking the lead 1-0. Give us a quick break as we take a 5-minute break or for however long to get to the next game, and so we can provide you game two.
Welcome back to the stream. We just got finished with game 1. We are currently prepping to do game 2. Before we start, I would like to thank our sponsors once again: GTA, Pacific Federal Management, Global Recycling Center, Triton Esports, Pacific Data Systems, MacTech Guam, Twitch, Lottie Esports, UOG Endowment Foundation, University of Triton Store, Heavy Hitters, and Macadasian Brokers Incorporated. So, Damon, let's go talk about game 1, because game 1 was very, very interesting. On the side of UOG, they had a very strong early game, but on the side of Drex's Uncles, they were able to kind of turn around, take advantage of the resources that was getting fed to them, and they're able to turn around and win the game.
Definitely. So yeah, like as we previously said throughout the game, it's UOG had a very strong early game. You know, that first 15 minutes, we did see Maui go crazy on Lee Sin. He was able to catch Quan at a level 1. He was able to get first blood, and he was really showing his mechanical prowess on the champion for sure.
Right.
And he played with confidence, and that's what mattered the most, is that he played with confidence to be able to take on this veteran roster. And so it looked like a very completely different UOG from when I was first watching them play and watching them practice, coaching a little bit of them, and it looked great. I thought they looked like the best. They are in the best shape and form they have been all season for sure.
For sure, yeah.
And but this is where that veterancy portion of the game matters. The mid and late game, they just gave away too many shutdowns.
Right.
They were getting picked off left and right, and they just played the objectives and team fights wrong. That allowed Drex's uncle's team to go ahead and get back into the game. I think if they were able to kind of steamroll and really take advantage of the early game and push their lead correctly, this game could have ended differently.
Right, for sure.
So we're gonna go ahead, and definitely though, DU, they played phenomenally. They found all the angles to get back into the game. You know, even with how far Quan was set back because of
Right.
Maui's jungling, Quan was able to find the angles, especially in the bot lane. You know, he was repeat ganking, constantly finding these little picks off of vision to kill Willow, to kill Itchy. And just with the side of all the CC, the easy point and clicks to just get on top of the carries and get the gold and all the shutdowns. But let's not talk about them, because there was one main star on the side of DU.
Right. So, Ice Chi, newcomer on the side of DU. Very new face. Very oppressive Ari. And looks like we're going into draft.
Definitely, but you know, I still want to give credit where credit is due. Ice Chief played phenomenally. His TPs were perfect. He was able to get all the kills and just really snowball that lead in mid lane to help in the side lanes.
Right.
A very good, crucial player for this team for sure on game 1, and I want to see what he can do game 2.
So, we're going into bans. Looks like Drex's Uncle's taking the blue side again, and UOG T2 taking red side. And it looks like Drex's Uncle's is opening with the Darius ban. Again, a comfort pick of UOG's top laner, Curseone. And it looks like T2 is going for the Vi ban once again. And it looks like Drex's Uncle's also going for the Nautilus ban, another comfort pick of the UOG support.
Definitely, and now we do see the change in the draft. So far, the first 3 bans were the same as game 1, but now we see the Ari ban. Ice Chi played phenomenally on Ari. He hit those charms. He was able to find all the good angles onto the backliners to kill all the squishies needed. And now, what will he play next? That is the next question is. We do see DU is currently banning the same 3 champions. So Lucian ban on the side of UOG. They still don't want that into Dunna's hands. And now, let's see what DU picks for their first pick. And now, I know Dunna likes to play these hyperscaling. He likes the Kaisas. He likes the Varus. He likes the Smolder. Anything that has this ability to scale is some of his favorite picks.
Right.
Oh,
And
and
it
we do
looks
see
like
the first
Bel'Veth
pick.
We did see Bel'Veth ban last game, but we do see that Bel'Veth was left open in lieu of the Ari ban. Very interesting to see what Quan has in store for us. You mentioned earlier that Belvin is one of his pocket picks.
Yeah.
Just tell me a little bit more about that.
I mean, I wouldn't want to say it's a pocket pick because
Right.
a pocket pick is a champion that you have in the your back pocket
Right.
that you know you can pull out anytime,
Yeah.
anywhere. Or, well, I guess maybe it is a pocket pick for him. And we do, I used to duo queue a lot with Quan back before the tournament started or the news of the tournament started because now we're on opposite teams and he doesn't like me anymore. He doesn't want to give away his secrets or anything like that. But, you know, Quan's Belveth, I had to say, was probably his most dominant jungler currently. I felt like I never see him lose on the champion. He plays phenomenally. And he even created this build that kind of shocked me where a lot of players were playing like a tankier Belveth. He said, no, screw that. I'm going to go pure damage. He would go Kraken Slayer into Yomu's, into like lethality, becoming this like assassin Belveth. But let's go ahead and just move on with the draft. We do see UOG does pick up Maui's Lee Sin again, and we do see the Kaisa opener for Willow. Now, again, we saw how dominant Lee Sin was in the hands of Maui against Quan in the early game. Now, can he do it again? That's a good question to find out.
Right.
We do see that the next pick for DU is Jin. Now, Jin is a great utility ADC. Is able to kind of play around your side laners, your mid laner, basically anyone else. You really become this like W bot to hit those stuns, those roots from a very long range to help initiate these team fights with your long range sniper on Jin, and also your burst. It's insane.
Right.
So they do look like they're probably going to be playing around the jungle with this Jin Belveth. And now, what do we see from the side? Oh wait, there looks like there's going to be a pick that was missed on the side of DU. We will go ahead and get that information for you guys later. But we do see now that the side of UOG does pick Maokai. Maokai is a great support right now. Like
Right.
he, previous patches, he was the #1 support. The highest win rate, just so broken. Like the amount of vision denial that he has with saplings, how he has a click and point stun on or like CC onto like any carry, and also being able to use his ulti to either catch or even disengage team fights for sure.
Right.
And it's pretty crazy. So we are gonna go actually into the next banning phase, the second draft, and we do see Janna was banned. It looks like they're gonna kind of want to get rid of all these like enchanter supports, things that can help Jin and Belveth become very strong in the late game or just in team fights in general. We do see Lawi was banned by DU. Again, they do not want the top laner from UOG to be able to play these kinds of champions that allow them to take over the lane. We do see Seraphine was then banned next by UOG T2. I don't know how much Seraphine Ponkins plays. So far, I know that he's a decent enchanter player, though.
Right.
So now we're just waiting on the last ban here for the side of Drex's uncles. It's probably going to be a top laner. I'm expecting maybe,
Lysandra banned.
just kidding. It looks like they're trying to pinch the Jakey's pool here by getting rid of the Lysandra. Now, I know there are still a couple of champions like Aatrox is left open.
Right.
Now, with Aatrox being left open, I think DU is looking to pick up Aatrox here.
Right.
I think they want to take the Aatrox because it's a champion that he's able Drex is able to actually play. It's a good lane neutralizer, also able to get bullied. So it does look like we were able to find out what that third pick was from Drex's uncles, and it was Poppy. So Poppy, great pick here to counter Lee Sin. That is going to be going into the support role.
Right.
Definitely into the support role. It could be top lane. They could flex it up to top lane for Drex. But I have seen Ponkins play a lot of Poppy. In one of my solo queue games or flex queue games, I did find Ponkins in a game where he played his Poppy into my Camille, and that didn't go very well because,
Yeah.
as we all know, Poppy stops all these dashes and engages champions from playing the game. We do see that the two mid laners have been picked for both sides. We see Nico picked for Jakey and Hui picked for the side of Drex's uncles. And it looks like the final pick for DU is the Zac again. I mean, Drex played a phenomenal Zach. He was able to get into the back line and really disrupt every team fight. I think he played this really well, and I'm excited to see how UOG takes that pick and maybe plays a lane bully. There it is. Yes, Mordekaiser. Um, the cursed one does play a lot of Mordekaiser. This is his like go-to AP champion, and it's a very good pick into Zach because he's able to actually take the leads and just push it into Zach so that he can lane bully and maybe even take over, get a CS lead, maybe kill him a few times. We don't know. But with that, the rounds have picked out. We do see Drex's uncles picking from top to bottom Zach, Belveth, Hui, Jin, Poppy. And the side of UOG, we do see that they picked Mordekaiser, Lee Sin, Nico, Kaisa Maokai. Tell me what you think about the draft so far.
Okay, so looking at both teams, on the side of Drex's uncles, a little less of an engage than they had last game. The really hard engage that they have is via the Zach E. But they have very good follow-up with the Zach E, with just the Jin W, with Belvet Slam. Very looking forward to seeing what they will be able to come with that. And on the side of UOG, it looks like they have pretty good team fight potential with the Maokai R, Maokai W, is able to kind of pick somebody off or catch somebody off guard. And with the Nico CC, with the Nico root, and also with the Nico R, looking for Jakey to kind of just open up these fights as well. On the top side, looking for Curse One to kind of just play Mord and steal sats of Zach, just kind of take the 1v1s and maybe also just isolate somebody with the Death Realm and look to see what they have in store for that.
Definitely. And so, like, with the side of UOG, I want to get back into their team comp and like just how the both team comps kind of want to play. It looks like the way that Drex's uncle's team wants to play these team fights is they want UOG to come towards them.
Right.
They want UOG to make the mistakes of like going in with a Maokai W, going in with Lee Sin Qs, and really just disrupting their team fights so that they don't allow any player to play the game, which will allow Belveth and the Belveth and Hui to really just take over all the team fights. Drex is also looking to kind of just disrupt the team fights with his like let's bounce ulti, and it's gonna look like they're playing for that more scaling opportunity again. It looks like that's gonna be the comfort for the way that DU wants to play.
Right.
UOG though, on the side of UOG, they have this very interesting team comp for sure. It seems like they're really trying to play for lanes, play for that early game again.
Right.
You know, like Mordekaiser should win out against Zach early game. In the late game, I'm not too sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure Mordekaiser still wins the late game, 100%. But anything can happen depending on how the situation of the game, how the situation goes in the game. Of course, they have Maui on his Lee Sin. Maybe he's able to make plays onto Quan and really kind of push this Belveth out of the game for sure.
Right.
And we do see that Jakey is on Nico, which is his comfort. You know, he does play the Aries, he plays the Nikos, he plays the Lissandra, and it's going to be really interesting to see how he will take these games because they are banning away his Yone and Yasuo, and I feel like they have something against this Yasuo. They really want him to play it because that is the one time they took a game off of DU.
Right.
Is when he played Yasuo.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting. This is game 2. It could either be make or break for the teams. You know, it's if Drex's DU's team wins, then they win the best of 3. But if UOG wins, then we go on to game 3, which I'm hoping either one works.
And before we get into game 2, we do have another spectator delay. We'll go into a very quick break. We will see you very soon, and we will just put up an ad.
Thank you, guys.
And we're back. We are just about to get into Game 2. Spectator delay is about to wear off. Before we get into the gameplay, I would like to thank our sponsors one more time. We would like to thank GTA, We Start With You, Pacific Federal Management, Global Recycling Center, Triton Esports, Pacific Data Systems, MacTech Guam, Twitch, Lada Esports League, UOG Endowment Foundation, University of Guam Triton Store, Heavy Hitters, and Micronesian Brokers Incorporated.
Yes, without you guys, this stream would not be possible. And from what we know, the game is about underway. It should be getting started very soon. Okay. Again, so let's go ahead and reiterate the team comps here. We do see that Drex's uncles are playing a little bit more of a disengaged lane. They want they want UOG to kind of play towards them, come at us. That's what they're kind of saying. With all the disengage of like Zach, with Jin, Poppy, and Hui and Belvet, they're able to kind of play these disruptive team fights. And just like the game one, it looks like we do see DU is looking to take the playbook of what UOG did earlier and kind of 5-man top lane. Now, this is a common like occurrence that the top laner of UOG would kind of sit in these bushes and kind of play a level 1 cheese. Oh, but it looks like they're going to take more. They're going to go ahead and go with the Guam Classic Invaderino. Going through the top side here. They're kind of like hesitating on what part of the top lane they want to go through, but they're going to go through red buff. And it looks like Mordekaiser may be actually caught off guard here. Not expecting the DU team. Right there. Boom. Curse one gets caught. Jin by W. They get hit with the QW by the Hui. Drex's uncle go in. Flash by Zach. Getting first blood onto the cursed one. Very, very good first blood for the top side. This is going to allow Zach to actually have a little bit of a gold advantage versus this Mordekaiser in lane. But they did have to burn the Velvet Flash. I'm pretty sure Quan really wanted that game so that he can kind of snowball the game, really get pushed in to allow him to just take over the jungle. It looks like we do see there isn't an invade by Belveth. He is kind of taking the Raptors from Maui away, getting that level 2, while Maui does start on blue buff. It does look like Mordekaiser was a little bit late to lane. He could have maybe, I don't know, TP'd up, try to catch some of those minions, but it's fine. Dunna at the bot lane looks like they're going to have to kind of play safe, you know. Jin and Poppy do not have the best level 1s. They don't really have the best level 2s, at least compared to like a Kaisa Maokai lane. From this game, we do see that almost everyone on the side of DU did get an assist, though. Poppy was the only person not able to get any little 25 gold from an assist.
Yeah.
And it looks like Ichi or Maokai is kind of going off, trying to get a little ward around the 2-minute 30, expecting that maybe Belveth might come and kind of gank them early, or possibly look to do a sneaky little 3-man dive for sure. Something Belveth and Poppy and Jin are able to do. They do have a lot of upfront burst for sure. And it looks like the cursed one taking the lead advantage here is kind of shoving Drex in, which we figured would happen. Of course, Mordekaiser is this like AP bruiser. He's able to kind of just really harass and like take these top lane trades, where Zach really can't like trade back until he gets a few items, things like, oh, and it looks like Drex does gonna go in. He tries to kind of clear the wave, but trades his HP a little bit, gets chunked by a third. Not the very best of trades, because now his wave state is kind of in a bad spot where he needs to use his abilities to get to catch the minions. We do see Ice Chi here getting up towards the red buff to kind of just get a quick ward to kind of see what's going on. Maui does find Quan plays here at the scuttle, and it looks like not much is going to be going on here. They're going to kind of push out, but Jakey kind of looking, he was fishing. He missed his E by a mile, but it's okay. He was trying to get a cheeky little hit onto the mid laner there so he can trade some HP, but game is kind of a little quiet, you know, not the way that UOG started off in the banger last game for sure. I kind of want to know what build this this Kaisa is going to be going. It does seem like Kaisa did take Halo Blades, and Kaisa does have this like weird thing with Varus, where she has like 4 different builds.
Right.
It's very disgusting to like the extent of how flexible this champion is.
Correct. Yeah.
One of my favorite builds, though, I think is the AP Manamune build. What LS, one of the popular streamers, is called the Exodia build. And basically, it's like you go Manamune into full AP, and you just become this poke demon from like 3 screens away. And there's just like no counterplay to it, because if he keeps hitting you with those W's, it's just over. He just kills you. And it looks like UOG is going to be first here to the objective. We do see Bel'Veth is up top trading grubs. So they're going to be taking Dragon for grubs. Very good trade for both sides. I mean, Bel'Veth able to get the grubs means they're going to be having a little bit more of an early game advantage, especially on those turrets, as we said previously. While it looks like UOG may be taking these dragons to kind of scale and really get to those items, and we do see top lane trading, Drex trading with the Cursed One, but this is the damage that we knew that Mordekaiser has. You can't really trade with this Mord early, no matter what your items are, if you don't hit your abilities. How are you feeling, Winston? Like, how are you feeling with how this game state is currently?
Currently, game playing very normally pretty slow, with the exception of that level 1 invade, getting the Mordekaiser. UOG just starting to stack dragons, and obviously Bomplay is just trading with the point throws. Just really looking forward to see what will come soon, now that for the most part all of the solo laners have hit level 6, and they're able to kind of just take more lengthy trades and possibly push their laner out more. Yeah,
definitely. Definitely. You know, one of my favorite things playing Neeko, it becomes a game of counting.
Right.
You know, Neeko's passive, she's allowed to like kind of like disguise herself as a minion, a ward, or any of these monsters, and kind of just go into hiding and like randomly pop out of nowhere if you are not careful. And it's so funny, because it's like especially like a stacked wave like this in bot lane. Imagine one of these casters just being Neeko, and she pop blossoms your whole bot lane, and it's like it just turns into a death. And it's so fun. This champion, when it first came out and they did this like little mini rework, it was so fun to play.
Right.
We do see that there is an all-in going on in the mid lane. Looks like Jakey and Ice T are gonna trading. Jakey taking the bad end of the trade. Ice T coming out positively, but no summoners were used. Jakey did might get sniped, but he misses. Well played by the side of Wei. Wei, one of these disgusting champions that has like 10 abilities, man.
Right.
And it's so difficult sometimes to remember like what ability is what. Like, how do you remember 10 names on one character? Like, it's so insane.
Yeah.
But it's fine. But we do see Quan is kind of pushing Maui out of the jungle here. This is like not what should be happening. It should be the other way around. I feel like Lee Sin needs to take these early games and really push the tempo to be able to get Quan off of this this tempo that he has. Like, if they allow this Bel'Veth to breathe, this game will be over very soon.
Yeah.
We do see the bot lane is kind of playing slow. There's a good route onto the Kaisa. Then there goes in the all-in. Looks like they're going to try to maybe a flash by Dunna to get the play, but the Ignite goes off, and the grenade onto Willow. Bouncing grenade onto Jhin, hit the Maokai, which then followed behind and was able to get that last bit of tick damage onto Willow there. Very well played by the side of DU, and it looks like Maokai is kind of just eating bullets to the face. A lot of damage came out from there. That was a really great play by Dunna, able to go in, get the auto, and then stun off of the W. Perfectly played.
You're about 8 minutes in game. Let's go ahead and take a look at items. We see that there is a 30 CS gap, about a 30 CS gap in the top lane.
Definitely, but there's already, it looks like there's going to be an all-in going in. Maokai, Poppy does pull out the W to kind of stop any engage. It looks like they might turn onto this. Poppy does go in, gets the knockback onto the Maokai. Maokai flashes And then the Dunna goes ahead and flash. Jakey getting the double root on pop bustin', but then Quan is here for the cleanup, and he gets the kill onto Jakey, getting the ulti off. And Dunna with the snipe for long range. It looks like they're going to open up the curtains call here. Misses 2, misses 3. The Quan plays is here. Maui is able to intercept, but it looks like Quan might be able to take over this fight. Maui not ready for the amount of damage. Dodges the artist, but then Hui hits the ultimate, and it looks like it might be kill for Maui. But, oh, he lives. No, he's out, but okay. Well played by Quan there on the side of DU. It looks like they're really pushing the tempo here and not allowing UOG to breathe in these games.
So looking very good in favor of Drex's Uncles. It looks like we have just about a 5k gold lead here. That team fight in the bot lane, very good engage on JK, able to get 3, but the Bel'Veth was there for the response, and in turn UOG does lose their Maokai and the Kaisa.
Definitely. Don't forget, they also took the Maui and Jakey there. So it was actually 4 kills for none on the side of DU. Maui is here at Grubs to kind of stop the Grub stacking. They want to make sure that you at least take one of these.
Yeah.
If you allow any team to get 6 Grubs, it really becomes really difficult on the siege for the team that has the 6. So now it's an even trade of 3-3. We do see Quan does trade with getting the Chemtech Dragon on bot lane. This is a very smart play because we know that right now, currently, UOG has a stronger top side, while the side of DU has a stronger bot side.
Right.
So very well played. Quan does know he is able to trade this objective for free. I do expect him to go into the jungle here after the scuttle, unless he's going to reset for some items. Not too sure, but wow. Look at that right now. 11 minutes, and he has a Kraken Slayer. That is scary.
Yeah.
Very scary. We do see that he's basically 1,200 gold on the Lee Sin, which is not good. Yeah, he looks like right here he's like going on a Gromp, but he's going to go ahead and try to clear out any possible wards. And it looks like they might actually pull off another dive onto this bot lane. Quan is currently sitting in that back brush. I definitely hate, of all the map changes and stuff that happened during the season, but the Poppy does go in for the knockback, hits the Q, they are able to get the stun, and then a knock-up with the Quan plays, and they're going in. Maokai killed, dead to right, and nothing we can do with a CC perfectly stun lock, but Willow is here. They're going to possibly go ahead and go for the dive. Dunna goes in, walks in, 4 shots him in the face. Double kill for the side of DU.
Very, very clean dive by the...
and it looks like the play is continuing. Jakey and Maui are fighting Quan here in the corner. And it looks like Quan's going to go ahead and use the distress. Jakey's going low. Curtain Call opens up. Maui has to block these for Jakey. But, and it's another double kill. It looks like UOG is just getting kind of tempoed on right now.
Right.
Quan is really setting up all the plays with this Bel'Veth. Is pushing the lead that they have, and it's looking really bad for the side of UOG.
Right. Yeah. So previous fight, a very clean dive by the side of Drex's Uncles. Poppy able to look for that angle to kind of just stun the Maokai to the wall. Bel'Veth able to follow up on that stun and able to secure the kill on Maokai. And Jakey does come in for the response, tries to kind of catch that Bel'Veth who is in the jungle, but Bel'Veth able to just out-trade the Nico and kind of escape, and also enable Drex's Uncles to get the kill on both Lee Sin and Nico.
Definitely, and it's looking really grim for the side of UOG. You know, Quan and Ponkins have been making these plays to really target the the early game of this bot lane. Like Kaisa, although it is a very strong champion, has a very bad early game if she doesn't get a lead.
Right.
And right now, I think with the build that she's currently going, which is like this on-hit Halo Blaze Burst, it's meant to try to help you in the early game, but this far behind, there is nothing you can do. And we see Quan just taking the lead, going ahead and shoving it down Maui here, and he's just kind of pushing Maui out of this jungle, saying that you are not allowed to play here. This is now my jungle. Gets caught on the ward, does get poked out by Jakey here, getting a quick EQ. We do see the Curse One has rotated down, flashes forward for the E pull, misses by just a very slight margin. But we do see that the Maokai ulti does go out, but nothing really to follow up there. I guess they were really expecting the Cursed One to really get that rake so that they can just catch the kill onto Quan. And look at this. We do see Jakey here is going to play the counting game. There is 4 of these minions here, but he is kind of walking weirdly. So they kind of know it's him. You know, like you kind of have to play this perfect computer AI look where you walk straight. But it happens. It's fine. We do see that the lanes have been rotated over already, and there is currently a 6,000 or 8,000. I apologize, 8 to 9,000 gold lead for the side of DU. Great objective control already so far, and wow, just now they get the early Rift Herald.
Oh yeah, Rift Herald very good, especially for Bel'Veth. Obviously, part of Bel'Veth's kit is that if she does kill a void-related objective, and I believe gets it with her R, it also gives her these kind of small minions. I don't know what exactly they're called. It also just kind of helps them snowball with the turrets.
Definitely, and it's gonna look really bad for the side of UOG. They are down by 8,000, and they need to slow this game down. Kaisa needs to get to these items to where she can be impactful. It's usually around 3 to 4 items for ADCs. And also even the Cursed One needs to probably take this lead that he has in top lane, but it looks like Quan is already going in for the invade and pushing Maui onto the jungle. Does Q over the wall. Maui gets stopped by the Poppy and death. Ponkin's there with the W Steadfast Presence, I believe it's called, that just stopped the whole Maui from being able to play the game. These are one of the hardest counters for sure with this Poppy pick. Just not allowing the jungler to play.
Yeah.
And this is something that Ponkins plays a lot. You know, as I said previously, he does play Poppy. He played it in one of my Flux Q games. I remember back in my very first tournament when I was a Tristana main, and he played Poppy jungle, and that was miserable. I had no fun.
Yeah.
But we do see Ice Chi and Jakey kind of going at it again, trading health. Hui is at this point in the game where he has a little bit more of a poke and more like scaling damage than Nico. So it's really not easy for her to trade. I do see Kraken Slayer was picked up on the side of Kai'Sa, so it is an on-hit build. More than likely we'll be going into like Terminus, LDR, any of these items to basically help push a lead. We do see Curse One and Drex here kind of trading HP, but I think the Cursed One isn't at that point in time when he can like really 1v1. Dunny here getting stopped by the sapling of Maokai, so he doesn't have to reset anymore. All right, so Winston, tell me like what do you think of this game so far?
Right. So in terms of game set right now, really not looking good for the side of UOG. They are currently 0 to 10 at 17 minutes. Drex's uncle is just playing it very well. They're able to get that early kill onto the onto the Mordekaiser, and obviously just out tempoing the jungle, and taking just these really good team fights and able to just push your lead further, and yeah.
Definitely, and right there we did see Aiden did just burn his flash because we saw Quan kind of on the side here. And they might be able to catch Quan here going onto him, breaking all the CC. The Cursed One does go in, takes him to the death round, but it doesn't matter because Quan is so strong. But shut down trade kill on the side of UOG, and it goes into the loving arms of Kai'Sa, but it looks like the plays couldn't continue. Maui getting CC locked here by the Drex. Drex flashes onto the let's bounce onto the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa trying to run away, but gets hit by the root by the Jin, and boom, sniped by Hui. Triple kill for the side of DU, and Curtin called. Dunna getting the long range with no vision, by the way. I don't see any wards on the side of DU, except for that one in the back bush there, to be able to catch where Maokai was lacking. And it looks like that was a clean ace by the side of DU.
Yep. So Bel'Veth did get caught out there on Maui's Raptors, but she's able to take one down right there, able to take the Mordekaiser down, and team is just able to follow up. Zac engage going in for the after fight, and able to kind of just isolate and make space between the Kai'Sa and the Maokai, and able to capitalize on that kill, and Hui just cleans up, and yeah.
Definitely. But it was like the beginning of that fight looked good though.
Yeah.
UOG was able to get that pick onto the Bel'Veth and actually get that shutdown gold onto the right target, which is the Kaisa. The Kaisa needs the gold to be able to live. It was a huge run. I believe that was 1,000 gold that he was able to get off of that. But the issue was the continuing of the play.
Right.
They burned all their resources to kill Bel'Veth. So they needed to pull back and kind of not continue that fight. But they, I guess they got a little overzealous. They thought that maybe they can get a little bit more with the Bel'Veth dead. But they got to remember, Bel'Veth is not the only carry on this team. This Hui is really strong right now. You got a triple kill there, but it looks like they might be able to catch Quan here. Maui does get to win the smite fight. He does have the hands. You know, when you get old, you don't have the hands anymore, so you use the smite there. They are going to deploy the Rift Herald into the mid lane, get more turrets. Cursed One is trying to push them out, and he's just covering this jungle to make sure Quan doesn't get to play the game he wants to play. But he does it anyways. Maui and Quan here fighting over the red buff, but they're just going to go ahead and take it because UOG, oh, maybe they're going to be looking for the fight. Cursed One does pull 2 in, and the arts are going to go off. Pawnkins is in death realm with the Mordekaiser, pushes them out, and then they are trying to get this kill. Looks like Maokai goes in, and they found the way. The way might be able to die here, but Drex does fly in, disrupting the team fight. JK gets the ultimate off, and shutdown goes to the way by Mordekaiser, but then Quan picks up the kill onto Maokai, but they pick up the kill onto Quan here. 2 for 3. On the side of UOG, double kill for the Cursed One on Mordekaiser. Well played there.
Well played by UOG.
Well played. Now, they were able to get shutdowns on 2 of their carries, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and take that lead and push it for the Baron here. It looks like the side of UOG the side of DU cannot interrupt this Baron. Dunna is kind of hovering around. He might be able to open up with like Curtain. Oh, he doesn't have ulti. Just kidding. He's going to go ahead and try to maybe get this kill into Willow. Willow is 1 HP. He will die if he is caught lacking here. It looks like they're going to go ahead and turn onto Dunna. Dunna does get the kill onto the Mordekaiser, but shut down by the side of Kaisa. And again, Kaisa gets, Hui TP's in and is able to snipe Jakey. So now it's 3 left with Baron. Great objective play by the side of UOG. They were able to at least get. Oh wait, they didn't even get the Baron.
Get Baron, yeah.
They didn't get Baron. So
they decided to turn on to the Jhin, and they were forced to disengage because their team came back.
Definitely, I do agree. They had to be forced to get off of that Baron. They were really low. They were like 1 HP on like all of their carries.
Yeah.
But at least they were able to get another shutdown onto this Kaisa. Although the Hui was able to get a double kill, or well, no, sorry, not a double kill. Jhin was able to kill the Cursed One, and Hui was able to kill Jakey. It doesn't matter because they're just slowly trying to rebuild back into this game. If we could pull up the items real quick, we can see that for both 80 carries at least, we do see Kaisa is on 2 items, while the Jhin is on 2.5. So slowly but surely, their main carries are getting up to speed. We do see Mordekaiser is on 2.5 as well. Is very strong right now. So at this point in time, like Maui is kind of quote unquote useless.
Yeah.
He really doesn't have the damage to really kill anyone. He needs to kind of play this more tankier variant and more of an R bot to kind of get this pick. But Quan does kind of walk in, try to get some damage. Hui does get the snipe. They're able to kind of push these guys out. But as I was saying, like all the gold needs to be funneled into this Mordekaiser and Kaisa. They need to be able to push everything. The jungle, like Maui should not be taking jungle anymore. At this point, Kaisa and Mordekaiser just farm. They need to farm. They need to get 3 to 4 items. They need to be able to power spike to be able to push the damage onto them. And now things are kind of getting slower. They are prepping. Looks like DU does have a lot of vision into the UOG's top red quadrant. They're able to kind of push things out. Right now they're going through. They're kind of clearing all the vision together as a team, making sure that DU isn't on Baron. We do see now Jakey is matching the side of Zach. I think it's mainly because Jakey does have TP, and if they're able to get a clean TP flank ward onto this team, they might be able to win.
Right.
Slow game now. They are taking the pace a little slower, which is good. I think all these team fights lately have been able to help kind of slow the tempo down.
Right. Yeah.
So what else do you think is needed for this team for sure?
So you're correct in saying that they kind of just need to play it slow, kind of just play the farming game. Maui, basically just cosmetic right now. He can't really do much.
Definitely. And we do see Drex is kind of just bullying Jakey under lane. You know, he is very tanky. But on the side of the screen, side of DU, they sneak the Baron. And well played by the side of DU. You know, like, Drex kind of went in there to stop Jakey from being able to make any kind of TP play. So if they were calling for TPs, it was just not going to be possible.
Right.
It would have been a 4v5 with Jakey on like 10 HP.
Yeah.
But DU does get the Baron, and now they're able to kind of take this tempo with the Baron and push these lanes. I do expect them to be able to get maybe 1 or 2 inhibs with how strong they are. We do see the Curse one kind of caught off on the side here. Does get hit by the stun. Doesn't get ready to pull in back anyways. But it's okay. Damage is damage. They are just kind of trying to delay this Baron so that they aren't able to push a lead anymore. We do see it has been kind of a quiet game for Drex's Zac this time, you know.
Yeah.
They did take the counter pick of Mordekaiser into the Zac, so it is kind of showing that, you know, he can't do anything with it. But it looks like the Curse one here is trying to match Hui, and that's actually not great lane assignment. You kind of want Zac to be matched by Mordekaiser, and you want the Nico to match Hui. It's just the way that it needs to be doing, but we do see that DU has taken the first turret with their Baron, able to get the top lane turret, and they're not really pushing this lead. You know, they had a Baron, and it feels like they didn't really get much value out of it. For sure. I guess they're kind of playing too methodical, and the amount of wave clear on the side of UOG is pretty strong. I mean, at least this term is almost done. That one, it looks like they can just have Drex come up, E it, and just walk up and slap it a few times.
Yeah. Looks like we have about just a 12k gold lead here. DU stacking a big wave mid, along with the void creatures from Belva that she does get by killing Baron, or just any void related objective. Looking to shove this wave in, still with the Baron buff, and kind of chunk out tower.
Aiden was kind of fishing there to maybe catch the Belfast out, kind of lacking, maybe playing a little too confident with his. But looks like they're just going to go ahead and try to siege mid. Quan is kind of just going in with his Qs and poking, trying to catch anything and everything here. Maui taking a lot of damage from this Hui. Hui is really disgusting at being able to poke with that that flame pillar of his, or the spire that just kind of just drops down. And it looks like they're going to go ahead, and Quan does get catch onto Maui, but Maui flashes over, try to kick it, but they're going to go ahead. Jakey hits the 4-man, and the team fight is going on, but Dunna go ahead and slays Jakey, and it looks like Dunna's going to get a double kill, another kill onto Zac, but to Drex there. Curse one goes ahead and dies, and it's a clean ace on the side of DU, and that's going to be the ender of this game. Really dominant game by Drex's uncles for sure.
Right.
They really took the knowledge that they learned from the game one of after getting kind of stomped by UOG's early game in game one, and they were able to just out-tempo them and push a lead, really kind of just showing their dominance of this game.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on the game, Damon? Very different experience than what we had in game one. It looks like on the side of DU, they're able to just dominate the whole game and push their leads, not really give UOG any room to breathe. So let me hear your thoughts on that.
Definitely, like what Quan did there was he just really kind of pushed what he needed to do. You know, they got those early kills. They got that first that early invade onto the Cursed one, and from there they just snowballed, consistently ganking all the lanes, pushing it out, and it really felt like UOG didn't have a way to get back into the game until they got those small little shutdowns, getting the gold into their carries of the Mordekaiser and the Kaisa. But it felt like they were just too far behind that it made it almost impossible to kind of make a comeback.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up from here, guys. We want to thank everyone for coming to the stream and showing up and, you know, participating, chatting with us, watching these games. that's going to go ahead with Drex's uncles taking 2 games in the best of 3 off of UOG's T2 competitive team. And, of course, this stream would not be possible with who, Winston?
Right. So we'd like to thank our sponsors, GTA, Pacific Federal Management, Global Recycling Center, Triton Esports, Pacific Data Systems, MacTech Guam, Twitch, Lada Esports League, UOG Endowment Foundation, University of Guam Triton Store, Heavy Hitters, and Macadamia Brokers Incorporated. And on behalf of UOG and the League of Legends team, we would like to thank you for tuning in to our stream. This will be the last mock stream before we do get into the actual games this Saturday at 2 p.m. We will be streaming those as well. We are looking forward to having this experience with you, and thank you for tuning into our stream.
Thank you guys very much. And from that, Damon, Michael, and Winston, we're signing off.